Hi there guys, I hope you are all having a good day. Now, it's not long now until Anthony Joshua reclaims his World Unified Heavyweight titles against Andy Ruiz Jr. Or at least, that is going to be my prediction of the fight. I believe Anthony Joshua does win this one. Now, in the build-up to the fight, there's obviously a gloves are off that has been filmed previously. It was probably filmed 3-4 weeks ago maybe a bit longer. And obviously, in that, there was some back and forth between Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua. And one of the talking points was whether Anthony Joshua actually quit in the first fight, or perhaps whether the fight was stopped prematurely. Now, Andy Ruiz Jr. was asked whether he believed Anthony Joshua quit in the fight, and he said that he believed Anthony Joshua was out of it. He believed that Anthony Joshua didn't really know where he was or what he was doing, but he said he believed that was an element to it. He believed Anthony Joshua quit in that first fight. Now, obviously, that is a big claim from Andy Ruiz Jr., considering he doesn't really know. I mean, the guy in front of him, Michael Griffin, the referee who was counting to Anthony Joshua, looking into his eyes, said himself that Anthony Joshua did not quit. He believed Anthony Joshua was looking for more time, though. He believed that Anthony Joshua was trying to gather as many seconds as he could and maybe try and get a bit of respite from Andy Ruiz Jr., but he did not believe Anthony Joshua quit. So that guy, the referee, standing right in front of Anthony Joshua, administering the count, he knows just as well as Anthony Joshua whether Anthony Joshua quit or not. And he said that he did not believe Anthony Joshua quit in the fight. And another thing that tells me he didn't is that Anthony Joshua is going back into an immediate rematch. So I don't believe he would be doing that if he knew that he quit in the fight. So no, Anthony Joshua did not quit in the first fight against Andy Ruiz Jr. The ref said it, Anthony Joshua said it, and Anthony Joshua is proving it by going straight back in there with Andy Ruiz Jr. Now, why is Andy Ruiz Jr. saying this? Why is he going along with it? Well, there has been much conflict about this, whether Anthony Joshua quit or not, and naturally, Andy Ruiz Jr. sees this as an opportunity to get in the head of Anthony Joshua. Now, obviously, Andy Ruiz Jr. got in his head the first time, but the other way around. He was playing Mr. Nice Guy. He was a wolf in sheep's clothing. And he kind of lulled Anthony Joshua into a false sense of security. But this time, Anthony Joshua is wise to that. So Andy Ruiz Jr. has to find another way to get into his head. And maybe this is it. But obviously, Anthony Joshua is a seasoned professional. He is a great competitor, and he is used to things like this. He had it with Jarrell Miller, although the fight never came through. And he never got the chance to pommel Jarrell Miller in the ring, which I predict he would have. But ultimately, he's had that experience. He's had people getting in his face, talking trash to him. Even the Dylan White fight had that, because obviously when they got into the ring, it was absolute mayhem. There was a punch thrown after the bell, and all hell broke loose. There were so many people in the ring trying to keep them apart. And Anthony Joshua regained his composure and managed to win that fight. So obviously, he's dealt with this before, so I don't believe this will be a problem for Anthony Joshua, because Andy Ruiz Jr. knows he must get into the head of Anthony Joshua. He must throw him off his game plan. Anthony Joshua has so many advantages over Andy Ruiz Jr. His power, possibly, his height, obviously, and his reach as well. Anthony Joshua can box Andy Ruiz Jr., I believe, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying he can deal with him in the same way that he dealt with Joseph Parker, because Joseph Parker likes to box. That's the way he likes to fight. He doesn't necessarily like to come forward and trade leather, whereas Andy Ruiz Jr. does. And obviously, Anthony Joshua managed to outbox Joseph Parker, but that doesn't mean he can do the same with Andy Ruiz Jr. He will have to employ different tactics in order to deal with him, such as tying him up and making sure that Andy Ruiz Jr. is not able to get any shots away on the inside. And I know it's easier said than done, but that is what Anthony Joshua will do, I believe. That is what he will try to enforce. A double jab, come around to the side, use his feet to stay out of range. And anytime Andy Ruiz Jr. does close that distance, I believe he will look to tie him up and turn him, then get back to center ring and get back behind his boxing. Anthony Joshua doesn't necessarily need a knockout here. He needs to box with this guy, which he is well capable of doing. He has an Olympic gold medal, he's former unified heavyweight champion, and he is unified twice against a legend in Vladimir Klitschko and an undefeated champion in Joseph Parker. So Anthony Joshua is a seasoned professional despite his inexperience. So Anthony Joshua can box Andy Ruiz Jr. to a 12-round decision if he has to. And who's to say that isn't a definitive victory? Because obviously, if he outboxes Andy Ruiz Jr., puts on a boxing clinic and regains his world titles, then that is what he needs to do. There is no pressure on Anthony Joshua to go in there and knock him out. This is revenge, but revenge to get the victory, not revenge to try and knock Andy Ruiz Jr. out. Obviously, I believe Anthony Joshua possesses the power to knock anyone out at any given time, but he doesn't need to go in there and look for it. If he gets behind his boxing, I believe the knockout will come. I believe Anthony Joshua will beat Andy Ruiz Jr. and possibly by late stoppage, but obviously Anthony Joshua does need to box him first, get behind his jab and make Andy Ruiz Jr. feel the steel behind his punches as well, because Andy Ruiz Jr. would not be able to stand up to too many punches from Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua knows he can hurt Andy Ruiz Jr. That's the one thing he can take away from the first fight. The one positive, he knows he can hurt Andy Ruiz Jr. And Andy Ruiz Jr., when he is hurt, will not back up, he will come forward. So ultimately, Anthony Joshua can employ some tactics there as well. He can make sure that he is walking Andy Ruiz Jr. onto shots. Because yes, Andy Ruiz Jr. can fight coming forward, but can he fight going backwards? Can he fight off the back foot? Maybe not. I've never seen him do that before. I mean, he's got fast hands, good power, and reasonable movement considering he's a big guy. But can he get behind his boxing and box off of the back foot, especially when he is hurt? I mean, he was hurt in the first fight, but he decided, I'm going to gamble. This guy's hurt me. I'm just going to go back and try and hurt him back as well. This is an opportunity where Anthony Joshua will open up, and Andy Ruiz Jr. saw it as an opportunity to throw with Anthony Joshua. He saw it as an opportunity where Anthony Joshua would let his guard down. He threw that lucky shot and he won the lottery. But in the rematch, Anthony Joshua will be wise to that, because as I said, he will have that jab in Andy Ruiz Jr.'s face. He will be coming around to the side and he will be walking Andy Ruiz Jr. on to shots, not necessarily pushing forward and trying to be explosive and end the fight whenever he can, which he done last time. There was a bit of pressure on Anthony Joshua. He wanted to make a statement on his American debut. In this fight, none of that matters. All that matters is Anthony Joshua regaining his unified heavyweight titles. And when Anthony Joshua has that goal in mind, he always achieves it. Remember the Joseph Parker fight, Vladimir Klitschko fight, even the Charles Martin fight. Say what you want about the opponent, he still got the job done in his 16th fight and became world champion. Unified against Vladimir Klitschko in his 19th fight and against Joseph Parker, an undefeated world champion. So Anthony Joshua has it in his locker to do it, and I predict he will do on December 7th. These mind games won't work from Andy Ruiz Jr. this time. As I said, the nice guy act worked last time. It will not work again because Anthony Joshua is wise to it. So Andy Ruiz Jr. must try something else, but I tell you, that won't work. Now, I do believe that Andy Ruiz Jr. will try and start fast. I think that he will try and offset Anthony Joshua because he will believe that Anthony Joshua still has insecurities and a mental block from the first fight. So if he can start fast and get his shots away, then he can try and panic Anthony Joshua. But obviously, if Anthony Joshua settles into the fight, then that gives Anthony Joshua more chance in the fight. So that is why I believe Andy Ruiz Jr. will start fast and he will try and make sure that Anthony Joshua does not settle into the fight. And while Andy Ruiz Jr. is a good fighter, there is parts of his game plan and his style that Anthony Joshua can exploit, such as him coming forward. Obviously, as I said, he can try and walk Andy Ruiz Jr. onto shots as opposed to just letting him come forward and force the pace. And I believe that is what Anthony Joshua is expecting. Andy Ruiz Jr. to start fast and come out and try and really make a fight of it. And I believe Anthony Joshua will be attempting to get that jab flowing and make sure that he is walking Andy Ruiz Jr. onto those shots to deter him from rushing in. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Andy Ruiz Jr. saying that Anthony Joshua quit, and what is your prediction for the fight? Do you believe Anthony Joshua will become a two-time heavyweight champion? And do you believe he will go for the stoppage, or do you believe it will be a points victory? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up and subscribe if you are new.